Yo, what's up guys? It's King Sean here, back with another video, and in today's video I will be discussing two moves the Washington Commanders made today and yesterday. Today they signed former Chiefs wide receiver Byron Pringle, and yesterday they signed former Lions kicker Michael Bridgley. So I will be discussing those two signings and give a brief training camp preview towards the end of the video. So if you guys are new to my channel, leave a like down below, subscribe, turn on notifications on the road to 2K subs. So if you could hit the sub button, I'd really appreciate it. And other than that, let's get straight into the video. Alright, so I'm going to start with the Byron Pringle signing today, reported by Ian Rappaport first. The Commanders are signing free agent wide receiver Byron Pringle to a one-year deal per, I'm pretty sure, his agency, some help right before training camp. So Byron Pringle, he's been a solid wide receiver. He was a solid wide receiver for the Chiefs. I'm pretty sure he was undrafted out of 2018, but he started playing in 2019. He started getting snaps in 2019. I'm gonna just read off some of his stats. 2019, he was with the Chiefs for 3 seasons, from 2019 to 2021. In 2019, he played all 16 games, had 12 receptions, 170 yards, and a touchdown. In 2020, pretty identical stats. Played in 13 games, 13 receptions, 160 yards, and a touchdown. 2021, he had his best season of his career, playing all 17 games, had 42 receptions for 568 yards, 5 touchdowns, and then he signed a one-year deal with the Bears this past in 2022 offseason. Played for them for a year, played in 11 games, had 10 receptions, 135 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So just reading off his stats, I mean, Byron Pringle can be a very solid rotational piece, a very solid maybe like wide receiver 5 for us, because right now we already know who. So we're probably going to keep 6 wide receivers on the roster. I doubt we're going to keep 7. If we do keep 7, we're probably going to keep maybe Marcus, Cam, Dax Milne. But right now, the 4 guys that I for sure know that are going to make the roster is obviously Terry, Curtis, Jahan, and then Diami. Diami's going to be our wide receiver 4. So I think Byron Pringle, this isn't a camp body signing. He's gonna compete for a roster spot, and we have a lot of receivers on this roster. I'm pull up this. Shout out to Washington today, Jordan, for tweeting this. But our wide receiver room stands as this: Terry, Jahan, Curtis, Diami, Dax Milne, Byron Pringle, Casimir Allen, Zion Bowens, Marcus Kemp, Kyrie McGowan, Jalen Sample, Mitchell Tinsley, and Bryson Tremaine. So we have a bit of wide receivers. Obviously, like I said, Terry, Jahan, Curtis, Diami, they're gonna make the roster. The other 2 roster spots are wide open. We're gonna need a kick returner. I'm really a kick and punt returner. I'm really hoping Casimir Allen, because he was showing some potential in minicamp and OTAs, but he did get injured, I'm pretty sure, in OTAs, so he had a hamstring injury. He should be fine now, though. He should be good to go for training camp, and I'm hoping he makes the roster, because we just need somebody back there who can actually do something with the ball after receiving it. I mean, Dax Milne, he fumbled a couple times early on in the season. He did better with that, but he just didn't really go anywhere, really. I mean, he would sometimes even go backwards. So Dax Milne just didn't do a good job returning for us last season, and we need somebody more exposed, somebody more dynamic. That's why we put Antonio Gibson back there on kickoffs sometimes, because Antonio Gibson brings that juice. He did it in college, and Gibson was a pretty solid kick returner for us, so we could compete for that as well. But right now, my 6 wide receiver predictions, who I think is going to make the roster: obviously Terry, Jahan, Curtis, De'Ami Brown, I've stated multiple times so far. And then Byron Pringle, he's going to be our wide receiver 5. And then Casimir Allen, he'll be our return specialist, punt returner / kick returner. So those are my thoughts. And back to the Byron Pringle signing. I like the signing a lot. Byron Pringle, like I said, he can be a very, very solid rotational piece, wide receiver 5. We have a lot of speed on this team. We have a lot of speed wide receivers. Terry McLaurin, he ran a 4.35. Jahan Dotson, he ran a 4.41. That's a low 4.4s. I think De'Ami Brown, I don't know his official 40, but I think he ran a 4.44 at his pro day, though, if I can remember. And Curtis Samuel, he's a 4.3 guy. I think he ran a 4.33 back at the combine when he was during the draft process. So I really like this Byron Pringle signing. He also had a 74.1 blocking grade last year with the Bears. PFF graded him on that. So Byron Pringle, he's a very, very solid receiver, and I do like this signing quite a bit. Now onto the Michael Badgley signing that was made yesterday. I think it was reported by Tom Pelissero first. The Commanders are signing veteran kicker Michael Badgley per source. The Lions recently released him. It was actually a pretty surprising release because Michael Badgley was pretty solid for the Lions last year. If you look at this, Tom Pelissero said Badgley was a surprise cut by Detroit. He was 20 out of 24 on field goals in 2022. He worked out for Washington today and now becomes competition for Joey Slye, which is very, very true because Joey Slye, when we signed him back in 2021, when we released Dustin Hopkins, we went through some kickers. I think Chris Blewett and one other kicker, and then we finally signed Joey Slye. He was 12 for 12 on his field goal attempts in 2021, which was really good. I think he made like 250 plus bombers, which is crazy. So we hope for the best with Joey Slye. He our foreseeable kicker for the foreseeable future. But he just fell off in 2022. Really, I mean, he missed like I think he missed 5 extra point attempts and 4 field goal attempts, which isn't good at all. The extra points really because the field goals missing 4 field goals isn't a big deal. I mean, as you can see, Michael Badgley missed 4 field goals. But even the field goals really he be missing the short kicks. He makes the long kicks, but he misses the easy ones. Same with extra points. I just don't know how you miss an extra point. And the good thing about Michael Badgley is he was perfect on all his extra point attempts last year. 33 for 33, 100%. The only thing about Michael Badgley is that he isn't really great when kicking long field goals. He was 5 for 13, I want to say, in the past year or two from that range, from 50 plus yards. So that isn't great. That's one area where Joey Slye does outmatch him in. But Badgley will be competition for Joey Slye because Joey Slye, he has to start doing better. He has to make the easy kicks. We need those easy kicks. Those were really, field goals were really important for us last year, them extra points. And when Joey Slye missed them, it killed us last year. It really did. There's a lot of games we could go back to where we should have won, but because Joey Slye missed a kick or two, is the reason as to why he lost. So, Michael Badgley, I do like this signing. It's gonna be great competition for Joey Slye in training camp, and I can't wait to watch that battle. And before I get out of here, I just want to do a quick little preview of what I want to see in training camp. First off, the battles. I want to see, obviously, the kicker battle between Joey Slye and Michael Badgley, who we recently saw to talk about today's video, obviously. I'm excited to see that battle. It will apply pressure on Joey Slye, which is good because we need better out of Joey Slye. Last year, he missed way too many kicks, and we need him to miss less, even none. So we just need better from Joey Slye, and I think Michael Badgley will apply that pressure to him. The DB battle, the DB position, specifically the cornerback position. Who will be our 2 starting outside cornerbacks? We know Jartavius Martin, he's most likely going to be our slot corner, our Buffalo nickel, as they like to call it, our nickel corner. So he's gonna play there. Who's gonna be our 2 outside cornerbacks? We have a really fast guy, our recently first round draft pick, Emmanuel Forbes. Then we have Benjamin St-Juste, who's great in zone, great in man. And then we have Kendall Fuller, who he's really smart. Kendall Fuller is one of the smartest cornerbacks in the NFL. He's an IQ corner, really. He's not the fastest guy. That's kind of the reason why he wasn't great in the slot for us, because he's not the fastest guy. He's more of a smarter guy, IQ. That's why he's a very, very solid cornerback. That's why he's obviously still with us. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see who will be our 2 outside starting cornerbacks. My prediction is Emmanuel Forbes. I feel like Emmanuel Forbes, it's kind of locked for him to have one of the starting outside positions because we drafted him in the first round for a reason. We're not gonna sit him just behind Fuller or Benjamin St-Juste. So he's gonna take one of the outside positions. And then I think Benjamin St-Juste start at the other. I love Kendall Fuller. I really do. He has been really, really solid for us for the past 3 years when we signed him back in 2020, but I feel like Benjamin St-Juste, he really showed something last year. Even in 2021, Benjamin St-Juste has been really good for when he's with us. And I don't think we should just get rid of Kendall Fuller because you can't really trust Benjamin St-Juste to stay healthy. He obviously had only played 12 games this past season. I think only played 12 or 13 games in 2021. So he hasn't played a full season yet in the league. So you can't really trust him to stay healthy. That's why we have Kendall Fuller. So he can come off the bench sometimes. And just play. And if Benjamin St. Juste or even Emmanuel Forms gets injured, Kendall Fuller can easily start right there. He'd be a really really good piece to just start and plug right away. So yeah. And then some more things I'm interested to see: Chase Young return. Wonder how he's gonna look. He looked pretty good in mandatory minicamp. At least I've heard. I didn't go to mandatory minicamp, but minicamp or OTAs. But what I heard was he looked really good there. And then also how Eric Bieniemy uses Antonio Gibson in the offense, how he will try to get Antonio Gibson involved in the offense. Obviously, Antonio Gibson is looking to be used more at wide receiver. I reported that earlier this offseason. He even said it himself. So I'm really excited to see how Eric Bieniemy using Antonio Gibson. I know he's gonna get the best out of Antonio Gibson. I really do, because Jared McKinnon, running back for the Chiefs, he used Jared McKinnon very well as a wide receiver, as a receiving back. So he used McKinnon very well. I think he'll use McKinnon. I think he'll use Gibson the same way how he used McKinnon or similar. So yeah, that's really it. Comment down below what you guys would like to see during training camp, and that's pretty much the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like down below, subscribe, turn on notifications. Like I said, on the road to 2K subs. If you could sub up, really appreciate it. And other than that, it's been King Sean, and I'm out. Peace, guys.